A new note on the conquest of happiness by Bertrand Russell, with perhaps a discovery. Wow. So there it is. Bertrand Russell talks about happiness. In the first part of Conquest of Happiness, he talks about reasons to be unhappy. Not being happy with what you have. And now he moves on, as he says, to the interesting part. And in this part, he talks about what makes people happy, and the fact that we have in the countryside, we have people who depend on the land, depend on the weather, as opposed to the cities, where man has the machines, has the cinemas, and he can be happier short, let's say, in cities. In the villages, it's difficult to find company of others. You have to travel for many miles to talk with someone. So you're forced to end early and lead otherwise sort of a boring life. He's not saying these things in these words. This is just what I'm getting from this marvelous book. And here would be the discovery. He saw this, I repeat, the village, countryside, less happy people, and then a city, happier. So where I may draw a conclusion, which might be new, an invention, based on this coming from Russell, this observation. Perhaps that's part of the reason why life expectancy has increased so much. Okay, progress, medicine, and access to better health care and so much more have added. But then positive psychology has found, with many recent studies confirming this, that happier people live longer. In other words, more people in the city who are happier. And so happiness brings a bigger, a longer life expectancy. Hence, what I didn't find in writing, and I'm claiming as a personal, and I repeat for the third time, discovery, move to the city has brought about an increase in life expectancy with happier people. Now, Bertrand Russell is amazing in the sense that he anticipates many of the discoveries of positive psychology. I back up and I don't use, say that I didn't use correct discovery, because positive psychology has confirmed, in fact, what we can see now. People like thinkers like Bertrand Russell and others have figured out in years or even centuries before. But with the tests, with scanners and the technology of today, we can have this confirmed. One would be that countryside means where the big majority of the people live. In fact, in the Dark Ages, and there were 90% in the countryside, on the land. And if we move in ancient days, there were only a tiny fraction in cities. Moving to prehistory, there were no cities. But living in isolation is now known to be twice as dangerous as smoking. One who is isolated has a risk of dying which is twice as high as the one who's smoking. And countryside predisposes one to this. Plus, this uncertainty which is emphasized by Bertrand Russell, it depends on the weather. They never know what the success will be of the crop or failure, as opposed to a city with machines and more organized life. Added the fun of the cinema and the football for some reason. It's including that. So in the city, people are better off.